Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Cards the Diecast 4 channel. I want to thank you for watching. I have to confess to you, I'm not much of a golf aficionado. In fact, I don't watch golf, don't care about golf. But I do know one guy who is a golf player, and that name is Tiger Woods. And this magazine here is actually pretty unique for Tiger Woods, or special if you will, because this is an issue of Sports Illustrated for kids. But if you notice the date, it's December 1996, and on the cover is Larry Johnson, and I think he had just been traded to the New York Knicks, so they were making a pretty big deal about it. And the thing is, though, we're not going to be opening this magazine and doing a magazine break versus some sort of a box break or die-cast showcasing. The reason why we're opening this deal is because SI for Kids, Sports Illustrated for Kids, usually gives you one page of cards. They're perforated, they're 9 cards, but they're perforated so you could tear them off. Well, in this magazine is actually one of the first Tiger Woods cards, and some actually say this is his rookie card. And in the early 2000s, I think this magazine as a whole would have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and a Gem Mint 10 of that Tiger Woods card would actually sell for 6 figures. Those numbers have drastically gone down now. However, you can still actually sell this whole magazine for thousands of dollars if you're lucky enough. I think one actually sold for $4,200 not too long ago. So this is actually a pretty valuable magazine if you still have it intact. So let's go ahead and go back in time to December 1996, and let's open this magazine, and at the end we'll go ahead and evaluate the Tiger Woods card along with the other 9 cards that came with the magazine. Remember, you could always pause if I'm going too fast. We're just going to be going through this pretty quick, as of course we already know what we want out of this magazine. In fact, we're going to go ahead after this here, and we're going to save the cards for last. So let's go ahead and skip a couple pages here, and we'll go back. We'll put the cards up for last. How about that? Save the best for last here, and just go through this whole magazine. I think the 96 Olympics that just happened a few months prior, and you get to look at what was hot during the time. Of course, basketball, baseball, the normal stuff. We have an ad over here for What's in Your Pocket, the Game Boy. Is that the Advance, or is that the Mini or something? I don't know. I was never rich enough to afford the Game Boys. A little bit of a comic over here, some sort of a hockey ad, Hot Shot Stories, and a Q&A for kids. Try to get it. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Can't get it beyond that, or else you're not going to be able to see the whole thing. Picture of Scottie Pippen. The 96 Dream Team, the second edition of the Dream Team, Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaquille, Ken Griffey Jr. and Frank Thomas. Friendly rivalries, Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith, I believe. Trying to get to where you guys have the whole magazine in the frame. Space Jam, the movie, I think had just come out, so here's $11.99 for a Michael Jordan doll right there. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Deion Sanders, Touchdown Fever. Smoke Alarm, some sort of HBO ad right there, which actually surprises me. Oh, some sort of deal about cigarettes. 25th anniversary at the time for Willy Wonka. Some sort of mail-in ad for Sports Illustrated for Kids. Story about the cover story, about the cover man, Larry Johnson. He was at Charlotte all those years, and now he was going to New York at the time. And That's actually pretty apropos for today, if you will. Men dressing like women. You have a poster here. Let's see if I can't show it all to you. A big poster right there. Oh, gotta be careful with this. This thing actually costs money, so I don't want to actually tear anything here. NFL touchdown. This is the back of the poster. Has some stats for you. NFL touchdown. International Football League. Story about Super Bowl 31, I think it is. I think this is when Green Bay faced the Packers, I think, or the New England Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. A Raiders roll. Another Toys R Us ad here. See if I can amp up the light just a little bit. Picture of Don Mattingly. Gary Payton, I think that's who he is. Some sort of Christmas send-in. Just a bunch of stuff here. I never really got into this magazine. I was a pretty poor kid back at the time, so I never really had the opportunity to buy any of this stuff here. Spent some quality time with Michael Jordan, like 2.5 hours. This is the ultimate of Michael Jordan, so selling you some sort of VHS video of Michael Jordan and his playing of basketball. I'm surprised they allowed that for kids there to see that. Nearing the end of the magazine here. Comic cards. As you can see, that we're going to be taking a look at the cards here just shortly. Plugged in. And then there are some more drawings of some of your favorite sports stars, old school M&M's ad. Some games there to play, crossword puzzles, word searches. And more ads here at the end. And then we're at the end here for Starburst. So let's go ahead, and that's the back page there. So let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit more, and let's go back to what brought us here in the first place, the cards. Yes, indeed, the cards. There were 9 cards. So let's go ahead and dim this back down here. All right, we had 9 cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at who they were. The 9 cards consisted of Lisa Leslie, Jerry Stackhouse, Chris Martin, Martina Hingis, and then there's Tiger Woods there. That's the card right there. Michael Finley, Edge Jovahowski, soccer player, Chen Lu, figure skater, and then Doug Flutie, who was playing for the Canadian Football League, I think, at the time. All right, then let's go ahead and show you the back of these cards here. Curtis Martin, who was the running back for the Patriots. Jerry Stackhouse, who at the time was a pretty big deal. He was one of the top rookies, I believe. Lisa Leslie, who went on to the WNBA. and that card, I believe, is representing her with the U.S. Olympic team. Michael Finley, and then there's Tiger Woods. This card here used to fetch about 125,000 Gem Mint 10. In fact, if you go on YouTube, I think I'll try to leave a link in the description. There used to be an Outside the Line story from back in 2001 about how popular this card used to be at the time. Doug Flutie, who was playing for the Canadian Football League at the time, I believe. Chen Liu, who was a figure skater. And then Ed Jovanovski, who's the hockey player. And so, one more time with the front: Lisa Leslie, Jerry Stackhouse, Curtis Martin, Martina Hingis, who was one of the top tennis players at the time. I think she went into drugs afterwards, I think. And then there's Tiger Woods, Michael Finley, the hockey player, Chen Liu, and then Doug Flutie. So that go ahead and wraps it up here. I want to thank you again for watching this video here. I thought this would be something cool to go back into as we go back into December 1996 to actually check that magazine out, because it's one thing to have a whole sheet of the cards, but to actually have it, because I just got this the other day. I spent about 150 bucks on this magazine, and depending on how lucky I can get, at one day I might actually be able to sell this for a few $1,000, depending on how lucky I get, of course. But nonetheless, though, this is a pretty significant magazine. If you recognize that you have this magazine somewhere in your house, try to find it, and especially if you have the Tiger Woods card itself, you know, you might be able to get yourself a pretty good deal, because these things could actually still go for some pretty good money if it's Gem Mint 10. So, food for thought and for your entertainment, though. I want to thank you so much all for watching. This has been the Cards the Diecast 4 channel.